Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patric Young and Terry Norvelle.
All right, here we go. Let's kick it off on a Wednesday. The cold front is starting to roll in right now, but we're going to battle through it here on a Wednesday edition, a hump day edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. You know by now, if you have followed our show, if it's Wednesday, if it's hump day, it is Twin Peaks. Thank you very much. Been hanging out here with the young Twin Peaks girls. They guarantee you a lot of stuff. They guarantee you that they will be hospitable. They'll take great care of you. And they guarantee you 29-degree draft beer, 28.8 degrees right now. They are under the 29-degree threshold. Thank you very much. Nice crowd rolling in here at happy hour on a kind of a holiday December 11th edition of the Young and Norvelle. So Terry Norvelle here. We hope to hear from Brent Beard. We hope Brent will check with us in a little bit. Obviously, it's a crazy time of year. This will be our final show this week. We will take off tomorrow and Friday, Thursday and Friday. No Young and Norvelle show because we will turn over our studio to, we've got high school basketball holiday tournament, so we'll be taking place all over the country. We've got a great high school basketball holiday tournament here in our area, so we will not be on the air Thursday and or Friday of this week. So this will kind of wrap things up, and we hope you enjoy the high school basketball we provide you coming up. And that's kind of a tradition. The holiday season, high school basketball tournaments, and we do it as good as anybody in our area. You should enjoy that. Okay, a lot to get to today on the program, including we'll talk with Patric Young a little bit later, Brent Beard a little bit later, of course. And two topics I want to hit real quick. The Bill Belichick North Carolina football job marriage is getting close. It sounds like they are dotting I's and crossing T's. I got some thoughts on that, good and bad. And also, I want to get into this. You probably heard yesterday, and Gator Nation kind of got a little bit flustered with Jack Pyburn, the defensive end, outside linebacker, Jack Pyburn, by way of the Bowl School. And the word is he has always been, and his family, they are huge Gator fans. Jack Pyburn popped up at Florida, a 2/3-star recruit. Wasn't the biggest recruit in the world 3 years ago when Florida signed him. Okay, so he goes to Florida. The word is that's kind of his dream school. Just put that on the back burner for now. And year one in Gainesville, he crushes the weight room, kind of works on his body, doesn't play, isn't eligible to play because he's redshirted. He gets on the field a little bit last year, but this past season, including the other night in Tallahassee, Jack Pyburn has really stepped up his game. He has become a guy that in this portal era, he will be sought to a degree. He's put enough on tape to say, hey, man, if you throw your name in the portal, we, whoever the other schools are, we may want to talk to you. Florida level, SEC level, low, I don't know. He doesn't know. But yesterday, when rush end outside linebacker Florida Jack Pyburn, when he put his name in the portal, which opened on Monday, man, Gator Nation went absolutely, you know what. I'm here to say, I think Jack Pyburn worked the portal perfectly. Perfectly. I think to perfection, Pyburn worked the system as it's set up. Keep in mind, Jack Pyburn signed with Florida as a 2, maybe 3-star. He never got to shop his wares. He never got to see if he had any value. He knew his first year or two at Florida, he had no value. He could not throw his name out there and go to the highest bidder or the best bidder. Well, Pyburn busted his tail, made himself a better football player, turned in not a great year. He was pretty good. He wasn't great, but Pyburn improved himself so much that why would he not put his game resume out there for everybody to see? Why? The system says, why would you not? I don't blame him one bit for doing what he did. I'm not so sure he doesn't come back to Florida, but keep in mind the way the college football portal system is set up. I think Jack Pyburn, I think he played it like a fiddle. He played it perfectly. As a matter of fact, until it changes, and it will, we're in a guinea pig stage right now of college football. We're working things out. It will change. It will be different. 5 years from now, it'll be different. If you are a college football player of any success, why would you not enter the portal every year? I'm not saying you won't go back and play 2 more years at your existing school, but why on God's green earth, why would you not throw your name out there? And you may say, well, why do you keep saying portal, Terry? That sounds like they're gone. No. Keep in mind, if you put your name in the portal, all you are doing is announcing to the world that you are taking offers, that you are a really pretty girl on Tuesday night and your phone number is plastered everywhere and you're taking date requests for Friday, right? You can turn them all down. You can take the highest bidder. That's the basic situation that Jack Pyburn did with Florida. I am fine with the way this played out. And if you are one of the people that are posting and sharing and commenting on, yes, did I see Jack Pyburn's supposed demands? And that may be a tough word, demands. He wanted to play, guarantee I play every third down, $45,000 a week. Well, you know what? I'm not talking about that. You can think your value is X, Y, or Z. And if you can get X, Y, or Z, then your value is X, Y, or Z. If you don't command that, then your valuation of yourself was wrong. I saw more people the last 2 days. Can you believe the demands? Because the Jack Pyburn demands supposedly have made it online on the internet, viral. And I've seen them. You've seen them. Those numbers don't matter. Those numbers matter not. Your value is whatever will pay for your value. And frankly, if you're Jack Pyburn, you can say all the triple zeros, double zeros, all the money you want. And if you're the University of Florida, if you say, wait a minute, Jack Pyburn is too valuable to lose, well, Florida can pay it. Pay it or don't. It appears that Pyburn threw his numbers out, what he thinks he should be paid, and Florida said, okay, we love you. If you need anything, we'll call us. If you need a ride at 2 a.m, call us. But we don't value it that number. So we're out. By the way, what I just described, the player asking for X and the organization, the program saying, we're okay. That's the system working. That is hey, Jack, go take your resume tape and go shop it around. Florida, it would appear, has said the numbers you have thrown at us, we don't think you have that valuation. And that's fine. Pyburn may be right. The University of Florida may be right. We'll see. But, folks, think about what I just described. You know what that is? That's called professional sports free agency. Free agency. How many times has that happened in the NFL? A guy hits free agency. He is he is free to negotiate with anybody out there. Shop, shop, shop. And he does. And maybe when he opens up his negotiation period, maybe the numbers are even bigger than he thought. But many times when you go to free agency, the numbers may be less than what you think. You know what? That's what we're dealing with in college football. I have no problem at all with the tact that Jack Pyburn and his team, obviously he's got a group that's helping him. No problem at all. The system is set up right now, and it will probably change. And I'm fine with it when it changes. But the system is set up right now. Why would you not enter in the portal every year? Now, you may say, well, because you love the team you're playing for. Okay, if your loyalty is such that you don't want to go into the open bidding, then fine. Don't go into the open bidding. Tell your school, I'm coming back. But my goodness, if you are a wide receiver at just say a Power 4 school and you had your true freshman year you played and you caught 42 passes, 6 touchdowns, and I don't know, you throw it out there, 870 yards at university number 1 that you signed with, why would you not just throw your name in the portal and see? Because by throwing your name in the portal, that takes away any tampering, right? And some people, let me back up because some people may not understand. You can't, in college football, head coach A cannot just right now call wide receiver B at a competing school and say, hey, man, are you happy? Are you not? Hey, we got a spot. We'd love for. You have to enter to the portal. If you, the football player, contact your football department, and they all have to do this. If you say, I want my name listed in the transfer portal, there's protocol, and it happens quickly. But then your name goes in. So that is your way of telling the world, I am taking date requests. I'm the pretty girl, and you may not be so pretty, and you may have thought you were prettier than you are. That depends on how much your phone rings. But by putting your name in the portal, you wipe away tampering. That's why people put their name in the portal. And then if it's monetary and roster induced, whatever it is to you, you make your decision. So I'm fine with Jack Pyburn. I think Jack Pyburn worked the system perfectly as it is set up right now. Now, let me remind you of this. If you are about to get off this show and text and go, Norvelle thinks Jack Pybron is worth $45 million a season, a week, or whatever he has. No. And Norvelle thinks Pybron, he asked to play every third down, and Norvelle thinks he should get that. No. I did not say that. I will not say that. But I will say this. Ask for whatever you want. What you ask for and what your true valuation is, those are totally different things. Your true valuation, Jack Pybron is asking for $45,000 a season. That's wonderful. And you can scream and go, and you can laugh and say, if he gets that, then he's worth it. If he doesn't, he's probably not. I can sell these glasses. I can say I'm selling these glasses right here for $25,000. Terry, you may say, those reading glasses that you bought from ABC store, they're reading glasses. They're worth about $9, $8. Well, I'm listing them for $25,000. If somebody pays me $20,000, they're worth $20,000, right? If you break that down, worth is what you can get. If Jack Pybron, between now and next college football season, because I don't think he's going to turn pro, if some university, some defense says, we want that guy, and we're going to pay him what he's asking, then he's worth it. I love Gator Nation laughing. He's not worth $45,000. Well, you're worth what you can get bought for. Right? I mean, if you really break it down. There you have it. Okay, one down. The other side. Next break, next segment. I want to get into the Bill Belichick. You know, you've probably heard the North Carolina Tar Heels and Belichick are very close. Supposedly, really, really close. Is it a match made in heaven? Is it going to give North Carolina an unfair advantage? I'm going to give you my opinions, and I think I'm pretty close. I don't think it's that big of a deal, even though the Belichick name is a huge deal. And I think most of us know what's holding up this deal, and it involves, I think, Belichick's son. We'll talk about that, the risk. Not Belichick. I don't think Bill Belichick has much risk at all if he takes this North Carolina job. The risk is from the North Carolina side. We'll talk about that and a bunch more. Just kicking off a Wednesday edition, the Young and Norvelle Show, or Wednesday Home. We're set up, and we go until 6 o'clock. We are at Twin Peaks. You know it by now. 11892 Atlantic Boulevard is the hard address. We're at the intersection of Atlantic and Kerman. Come by, say hi. Today, tomorrow, all weekend. Bring family by. They will not be disappointed. Twin Peaks. We come back and continue the Young and Norvelle Show after this time out.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice 3-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming, from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 143-2579.
Okay, back we are. Terry Norvelle, Chris Kringle right there. Kind of he's a silent co-host, but he's co-hosting the show here today as we are deep into December 11th. Terry Norvelle and Chris Kringle set up live at Twin Peaks intersection of Atlantic and Kernan. If you're in the area, come by, say hi. If not, make sure you get by soon. And you know what? If you've got some family members and you're looking to do some stuff with them, and they may not have a Twin Peaks in their area, well, I guarantee you they will love it. A lot of stuff going on. Holiday bonus cards, November 25th through the 24th. So you've got tons of time to get in here and buy your bonus cards. $5 bonus card for $25 purchase. All kind of great deals if you want to take somebody and let them experience the Twin Peaks experience with bonus cards. They've got great specials going on through Christmas. You can't go wrong. Twin Peaks and Christopher Columbus. Hey, Zach, look at my man. Hey, dude, that guy's strong, isn't he? Look at this guy. This guy's like, oh, just another Christmas. Just another Christmas. I'm going to look at this guy. Can you see it? Zach, look at this guy.
Yeah, the Christmas comes quickly. I do see him.
Hey, he's not sweating this at all. He's done this a few times. Can you tell?
He's got his list. He's checked it twice. He knows who's naughty and who's nice.
Right.
He's got
a mug. Isn't that a mug of coffee? He's drinking some cocoa. He doesn't
something
care.
like that. Yeah.
Dude, this guy's loving life. Zach, you are from the Low Country in South Carolina. We know that, right?
Sure.
Your family you're a Low Country guy, South Carolina. Obviously, the the up country, the high country is North Carolina. What are you hearing? What
don't
do
think
you
they call it
think? Okay, you settle down. Settle down. What are you hearing? What do you think about? It sounds like the Bill Belichick North Carolina marriage is going to happen. What
Yeah,
are
I
you
mean,
hearing? What do you think about that? Will it work?
well, at work is hard to say, but I mean, yeah, it does feel like it's all, but they basically got to cross the T's, dot the I's,
Yeah.
etc. I mean, I would like to think that he's probably going to be a decent recruiter just based on his name alone. I don't know. He needs to get a good offensive coordinator. He doesn't
Yeah.
need to be in charge of that part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, I think if you're the University of North Carolina, you're not necessarily known for your football program, so you might as well take a big swing on something like that. It'd be hard to find a bigger name than that. So yeah, I mean, why not?
So, Zach, here's what it appears, and I don't have all the answers, but I'm going to say here's what it appears. This whole North Carolina Belichick marriage, may not marriage, blah, blah, blah. Here's what it appears. Well, let me back up. Here are Belichick's last 4 years as an NFL coach. 2020, 7-9. 2021, 10-7, went to the playoffs. 2022, 8-9. And his final year, 4-13. So
Not great.
three of the last 4 years that Belichick coached in the NFL, he had losing seasons. Okay. So put that anywhere you want to put it. Okay. Just scoot that aside. The word you're hearing is obviously 72-year-old Bill Belichick has no interest in diving into the 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old pool of football players and trying to talk them into playing for him. The word is he would get him a solid general manager, because you can do that now in college, and a solid recruiter. No, before I go any further, do you think Belichick's name has a lot of panache with high school or even portal type players? Right
Yeah,
now.
it's hard for me to put my mind around it. So I guess if I were to put it to someone like for my generations, like I was graduating high school about 15 years ago, it
Yeah.
would probably be like Bill Parcells, maybe like someone who had
Something
like
like
a lot
that.
of success like
Yeah.
10, 15 years prior or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just don't really know if that would have resonated with me at that time. So I don't really know if
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, but with their parents, his name is going to resonate, and
Sure.
it is going to excite some people and
Sure.
get people to go. So I mean that kind of remains to be seen. But yeah, I mean it feels like a guy who's pretty widely regarded as at least on the nomination list for greatest coach of all
Yeah.
time in the NFL.
Yeah.
It feels like he should be able to do decent as far as obtaining talent.
We'll see, but it really appears that if he and North Carolina do decide to marry up, that he is only on field, in game, the coach. He'll have a general manager, maybe his son, probably his son, and a recruiting guy. His son will probably be involved, because I don't know if you've heard this, Zach. The word is that the whole impetus for Belichick exploring this is that he is going to force feed his son Steven in the contract. He has to be your next football coach after I resign. And by the way, it's not like his son has no resume. His son has been an NFL assistant coach for like 10, 12 years. He's currently the OC at Washington. Not the Redskins, the University of. So his son does have some chops. Okay, it's not like this guy is Mike Shula or one of the Shula boys coming out of the steak restaurant, right? But if you're North Carolina, isn't that a pretty big risk if you are handing your next coaching job to Bill Belichick's son, praying to God, A, Belichick is good, and B, you don't even know if he's never been a head coach, but you're going to be forced to say, yes, contractually, we will give it to your son when you step down.
Yeah, I would not want to do that. I would not want to sign up for that.
Nor would I. Nor would I.
Now, if you want to say that that Steve Belichick,
Yes.
when you hire him, he gets a position automatically as the GM or as the director of recruiting, etc. That'd be fine. Whatever, do that. But yeah, I don't want to. I mean, especially imagine the Belichick experience goes poorly. I think you'd almost have to write in some type of clause that says they have to have like X amount of wins to make that happen or something. Maybe if that were the case.
I love what you just said. If you're North Carolina, don't you have to protect your ass somehow with what you just said? Here's the other thing that would scare me if I'm North Carolina
Mm-hmm.
and trying to get in this marriage with Belichick as the HC for maybe 5 years max, but guaranteed his son. His son, again, he's not just a fraudulent coach. Belichick's son is a legitimate coach. He worked his way up with New England. Okay. He got in there and he had a basic job for like 3 or 4 years. Then he got to be a assistant coach. And he was at New England from 2012 to 2023. That's a long time, Zach. He's a legitimate NFL assistant coach. And now he's at the University of Washington. Here's my question, though. If you're the University of North Carolina, if he is good enough to take over when you step aside, why has he not ascended any higher over the last 15 years that I just said? 12 to 23. And now, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, if your son is good enough to be written into the contract as our guaranteed next coach when you leave, I don't think your son has been fighting off head coaching job offers. That would be my concern, Zach.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I mean, it could be possible that he were offered a position or two that he turned down. But I mean, yeah, I don't think that every single position that opened up, I don't think they were knocking on his door to say, "Hey, please, definitely make sure you get an interview with us." No, I don't think so.
Yes, and Zach, don't you believe what you just said? Don't you believe with the last name Belichick, if Stephen Belichick, if he was turning jobs down after interviewing, don't you think the media would have known that? And we would have known that?
Feels like that would be something they wouldn't keep a secret. Yeah.
With that kind of last name, I think it would be next to impossible to set for Stephen Belichick to roll into Cleveland, Ohio 3 years ago and say he interviewed, but he said no. He rolled into Detroit and interviewed. I just don't think that could have happened with that last name. That would be my concern with North Carolina. Are we rolling the red carpet out for a legendary coach that I don't necessarily think just being Bill Belichick's going to win at North Carolina? Are we doing that, and are we selling our soul to give the job to his son after he steps aside? Here, Zach, I want to throw this out before our segment, though. Do you realize how weird would this be? Okay, and I looked it up today. How weird would this be if Bill Belichick, that Bill Belichick, with all those Super Bowl rings, with all that NFL experience, if he takes the North Carolina job and he is the North Carolina Tar Heel head football coach next season, I want you to hear these names. This is where Bill Belichick will be coaching. Do you realize if Bill Belichick is the North Carolina Tar Heel head football coach next year, he will be on the sideline opposite at Charlotte, the 49ers. Okay, not the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
He will be coaching at home against the Richmond Spiders.
Oh, yeah.
And he will be coaching at University of Central Florida. Can you imagine Bill Belichick on the sideline, even though it's in Chapel Hill, coaching against the Richmond Spiders, for God's sake?
That'll be surreal. It'll be surreal to see him with his version of the Tar Heel cutoff hoodie. I'm sure he'd wear the sleeveless hoodie with that. It'd be surreal for sure.
But Zach, who, and I don't know, and I'm not going to look it up because I'm not going to stoop to this level. you know how teams come onto the field about an hour and a half and they start working out and they go in, they come back out and they
Oh, yeah.
stretch before kickoff, right? And generally at the midfield stripe, the two coaches meet and shake hands and they talk, right? I don't know who the Richmond coach is. Can you imagine whoever the Richmond Spiders football coach is? And you're an hour and a half from kickoff, Richmond versus North Carolina, and you have to go to midfield and extend your hand and say, "Hey, Coach Bill Belichick, the guy that's won 18,000 Super Bowls, who is how imposing is that for the guy to shake his hand, for God's sake?"
Name is Russ Hoosman. He's been their
There
coach
you
for
go.
eight years. There you go. Yeah, it'd be a bit of a if you did like a tail of the tape comparing their resumes, it'd be a little bit lopsided.
It would be. But I mean, and we know North Carolina's their other games are ACC, obviously FSU and NC State and
Against Dabo.
Clemson, right? And yeah, we know that. But do you realize if Belichick takes the job, he's got to go shake pregame and say good luck to the Charlotte 49ers head coach, the UCF head coach, by the way, not Gus Malzahn, Scott Frost, and the Richmond Spiders head coach, Bill Belichick, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I mean it could very well become reality. It looks like it's becoming more and more real by the minute.
Yeah. It looks like that. I just think that's going to be hilarious. And obviously, when you step back, Bill Belichick is doing. Bill Belichick could get an NFL. Would you agree, Zach? Let me back way up. Would you agree? The NFL, we're going to have, when the season totally ends, 3 more weeks from now, we're going to have 6 or 7 openings in the NFL, which we do every year. It happens every year.
Yeah, one of them could be very close by here.
Yeah, exactly. Black Monday rolls around every year. We're going to have 6 or 7. Bill Belichick, if he really wanted to keep coaching in the NFL, he could get one of those jobs, right?
I mean, maybe, but it was pretty heavily rumored that he tried to get a couple last year and he wasn't able to.
I can't believe that. Do you believe that?
It feels like he expressed interest in that Atlanta job and they didn't give it to him. I mean, maybe not. Maybe he just.
I just can't believe if you started rattling off the names of the head coaches that got jobs, first time coaches in the league last year. I cannot believe that Bill Belichick couldn't have got a job. Now, I'm going to take it a step further. I do agree that I don't think Bill Belichick could take any NFL job and say, I'll take the job provided you guarantee my son is the coach in waiting. I think he can do that at North Carolina.
Potentially, yeah. I can't imagine one of the 32 owners signing up for that.
Yes. Which might be why. I mean, he has 7 Super Bowls, right? Something like that.
I think he's got 6. I think Brady has 7 because he's got the Tampa one.
Tampa Bay, yeah. He's got 6 Super Bowls. Obviously, he doesn't need to step down to and college football is a step down from the NFL. Obviously, Bill Belichick could get one of those NFL jobs, but he could not twist the arm and say, my son is going to be the next head football coach at Cleveland if I take the job. But he could do that at the college level, and I think that's why he's going to the college level. That's what I think.
Potentially. I mean, if that ends up being the case, then that would almost certainly be the reason. If he ends up going to North Carolina and Steve is named the successor. Yeah.
All right, Zach, before we take a break here, did you hear the just absolute sad news out of the NFL involving, I think it was the Cleveland Browns. And I say I think because this was so quick. This was such an in and out. I don't know if I've got it right. Did you hear the terrible, sad news around the Cleveland Browns the last 24 hours?
Is it about a former Gator being released off the team?
It is about the young Joker, young
Yeah.
Joker, Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
God bless him. He got a penalty on a punt return because he was acting all a fool.
Yeah.
And then he fumbled a punt. He muffed
Yeah.
a punt. Kadarius Toney.
It was
spent
such
about
It was such a Kadarius. I mean, I was watching that game. It was the Browns and the Steelers. It was such a Kadarius Toney game because the first punt, he made a great return. He returned about like 35, 40 yards. And then the ensuing punt, he tries to be extra, do too much, ends up getting tackled backwards, ends up muffing it. And yeah, it was just
just
classic.
One of the punt returns, he acted stupid and got a taunting penalty or what have you.
Yeah, after the fact. Yeah, he muffed one and then got a taunting on the other.
Yes. So, in a matter of what, did he even know his combination to his lock? He was in and out of Cleveland.
Yeah, just for a couple games.
Young Joker was gone. Hey, and you know what? His year at Florida, his big time year at Florida, I thought he'd be a player in the NFL. And
oh God, yeah, how could he not be? Well,
he was a number one
like
pick.
he is.
He was a number one pick.
Oh, you should have been.
Yes. And he looked like a game-breaking slot receiver on the par with, the Dolphin slot receivers and those guys. Oh, my God.
He reminds me a lot of Percy Harvin.
A lot. Well, Zach, is he done now? This might have been his last go-around.
I mean,
who's going to give him another shot,
It'd be hard to think that there would be a team that will. I mean, there's teams that are going to be desperate. They get a bunch of injuries, but I mean, he's almost seen as a negative asset.
You know the name, right?
He was responsible for multiple Mahomes interceptions last year that hit him in the hands, and he just popped them up straight to the defense.
And you do know Kadarius's name, right? Kadarius Toney. You know the name, the rap name, right?
Young Joker.
Young Joker. You're damn right. And you know what? I'm not being silly here. I'm being honest. The little bit I've ever looked into, the word is he's a legitimate rapper. He's not just a guy that says, hey, I'm a rapper because I've got enough money to rent a studio. They say he's a legitimate rapper, that he's got talent and he's got following. But I got to believe, even though he's only about 24 years old, I got to believe he's done now in the NFL, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I mean, the XFL or USFL, whatever it's called, might be in his future.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long road ahead for him.
Young Joker.
For Young Joker.
The Young Joker. All right, Zach, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll start wrapping up hour number one. We'll talk to Dr. Aaron Bates, of course, as we do every Wednesday, our Southeast orthopedic specialist, sports medicine discussion. Carson Beck will be topic number one. Man, there's a Dallas Cowboys linebacker that, man, you feel for this guy, Overshawn. He has blown out every CL you got, if you know what I mean. We'll talk about that and some other sports medicine situations on the other side. And when we come back, Zach, please remind me, and if you get a second during the break, Zach, if you have a chance, pull up the Brett Favre, Mark Gastineau discussion about how Gastineau is mad at Brett Favre. What a weird situation. It's a ESPN 30 for 30. You've probably seen some of the outtakes. It is a weird situation. Brett Favre versus the Sack Exchange, Mark Gastineau. We talk about that on the other side. The Young Norvelle Show continues right here from the floor inside Twin Peaks.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
Since 1936, Procter Ace has been proudly helping Jax with all your home and garden projects. Whether you need tools, paint, plumbing supplies, or expert advice, we've got what you need to get the job done right. Looking to brighten your yard? Visit our garden center for plants, tools, and everything to make your outdoor space flourish. You're not just shopping here, you're part of our community. So come in today and let us help you tackle your next project with a smile. After all,
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week, and that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.
Well, Terry.
That's not good. Oh, there you go. Speaking of doing good, that guy right there, he's got the zip up, the quarter zip up on his chest. Man, looking good. Got a good looking North Carolina Tar Heel blue because he wants to talk about Bill Belichick. Welcome back to the Young and Norvelle Show. I'm Terry Norvelle. He's Patrick Young. We are live, set up at Twin Peaks. So we were talking during the break, Patrick Young. I want you to jump right into it. Bill Belichick, the word is the ball's in his court. If he wants the North Carolina job, he can take it. I'm assuming if he takes it, there will be that guarantee that his son would become the next head coach. That appears to be one of the driving forces. You think it would be a mistake, I think, 72-year-old Bill Belichick being hired to coach college kids at the Atlantic Coast Conference level.
Yeah. You know, I think there's just a certain temperament and patience you have to have as a head coach when it comes to having college kids.
Right.
And, you know, Bill Belichick has always been a zero tolerance, no nonsense kind of coach. And I think it works great in the NFL because I think with that mindset, he gives the players a lot of just leeway to be professionals.
Right.
You know, go be a pro, like take care of business, do your job. And I do think that I think every player would want to be coached by him. But I just don't know if, and it's not on him. It's more so, I don't know if the college kids can handle his approach and what kind of offense is he going to run? Yeah. If he's, you know, how old is Bill O'Brien? He's in his 60s.
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out for Bill O'Brien, I think, this year. Obviously, they didn't have a super strong year, but his NFL style won them some games. So I just, you know, Bill is very dry. I would love to talk to Mac Jones about this. You know, what was your what was your experience, having Belichick? Because he's, it's not unknown that he's not like, the most outgoing person in the world.
Yeah.
Obviously he loves football and he loves his players, but it's just a different type of relationship. How he, it's still awkward for me seeing him on TV. I was watching Manicast the other day, and it's just like, man, he just doesn't seem to me to belong on TV. He needs to be on the sideline.
I'm with you. I watch Belichick, and it's not like he's loose. He's looser than I thought he was going to be. But to me, I still think he more than Nick Saban, who I think is great on TV, and he was a bit of a surly guy. Bill Belichick, every time I see him on TV, I think he's 2 seconds away from snarling at the camera and cussing out the interviewer and walking off the set. That's what I always see with Bill Belichick.
At some point, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But and it's when Nick Saban says something funny, like the guys they know, and they on game day like they lose it because Coach he's still pretty tight, but he's not. I feel like with Belichick, if he makes a joke, you're like, oh wait, did he mean to make that joke? Is that because I think it was a joke.
Dude,
he laughs like this.
Hey, Patrick, you just said it so well, I think. When Belichick on camera, and I think he's pretty good on camera, but when he's on camera, you just nailed it, I think, Patrick. When he says something offhand or jokish, it takes 5 seconds to go, okay, is he legit? Or did he stumble into a funny comment? Because Saban, I'm the opposite with Saban. I think Saban knows the camera, knows the microphone, has a great feel for it. Even when he was at Alabama, I think he used to play the reporters like fiddles. I think he's really talented. But
he never let anybody play him. He never.
No. Hey, Patrick, get a load of this. If Bill Belichick, yes, that Bill Belichick, if he takes the North Carolina football job, do you realize? And I'm just throwing this out. They're here would be the non-conference teams Bill Belichick would be coaching against. UNC Charlotte, the 49ers, the Richmond Spiders, and UCF. Bill Belichick with 6 Super Bowl titles would be coaching next year against the Richmond Spiders. How crazy does that just sound?
The first one sounds worse to me because I know the AD at UNC Charlotte, but they are awful.
Yeah.
They are so bad.
Your boy Mike.
And it would make more sense to me if it was similar to like what Adrian Wojnarowski did. Like, why is this guy stepping down from having, one of the best jobs in the NFL, like being an inside reporter? Because he doesn't want to do it anymore, and he wants to be involved at his alma mater. I don't know what Bill Belichick's alma mater is, but I think that would make more sense to me than him going to North Carolina to that conference. But then also, do you want to give him a job that's, too big? Is there such thing as a too big of a job for a Bill Belichick that has never coached college athletics? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to think that him and Nick Saban have had so many conversations over the years.
You would think.
Maybe he is pretty equipped for college kids. I can't get past the personality. Is there any guy that's like, I think who's our guy at Oklahoma State?
Mike Gundy.
Mike Gundy. He has a personality that rubs the media wrong sometimes or whatever, but I know that his players absolutely love him. I believe that. I believe that's true. And we need to talk on that situation. They're trying to pull an old pay cut, and then now that you agreed to the pay cut, we want you out of here.
Yes. Don't you love that? But, Patrick.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know if you're aware, but let me throw one more thing into the Bill Belichick, North Carolina head football job scenario. The word is that the major negotiating point for Bill Belichick to take the job is will North Carolina agree that his son, who will be on the staff if he takes the job, Steven, and he's a legitimate coach. He's been in the NFL a long time. He's at the University of Washington as the OC. He's a legitimate coach.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's the sticking point. Is this a matter of just Bill Belichick taking a job to set up his son? And if you're North Carolina, you don't know if this guy's a head coach or not. You have no idea. Do you take that?
Yeah, I don't know if you can. I don't know if, as far as being a part of the staff, for sure.
Yes.
Maybe you can put, you have to consider my son.
Yeah.
Like, he has to get an interview, but you can't. I don't think you can strong arm the school to make it so he gets to intercede and be the successor.
Yeah.
Like, that seems like too big of a risk for North Carolina.
That sounds like
it seems like way too big of a risk.
I'm with you. That would be a sticking point, because I just don't know, Bill, if your son has the head coaching chops. I don't know. And by the way,
worst case scenario, what if Bill goes and he's awful? What if it's awful? Why would I want to hire your son? That's just going to do, be an extension of you.
Good. Hey, and you just made a great point right there. What if Bill Belichick stays at North Carolina for 3 years and they win 7 games, 6 games, and 7 games? But then your contractual obligation says, we have to hand it off to one of your assistant coaches, your son. And in most cases, if you win that few games, you would blow the whole staff out, right? But
typically, yeah.
Yeah, but that is a great point.
Yeah,
hey,
I can't say I love it. I can't say I love the situation.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know. I think North Carolina better think long and hard before they mortgage their future on Bill Belichick's son, not Bill Belichick, but his son, because that's what they'd be doing.
And he's got, there's going to be, you and I have talked about it and we've heard about it. There potentially might be 10 head coaching job openings. So with that in mind, I mean, why wouldn't he want to just wait that out? Because he's definitely going to get interviews.
Well,
without a doubt in my mind.
Zach and I talked about that a moment ago before we brought you on. That's another red flag. Obviously, Bill Belichick and his agent, even though he's 72 years old, there's going to be, like you just said, Patrick, 8 to 10 jobs open in the NFL. It happens every year. Black Monday is around the corner. They get fired. The difference is Bill Belichick could get one of those NFL jobs, but I don't think he could strong arm his son as the next hire. So he's going down.
He might be able to get him on as like a quarterback's coach or maybe something like that.
Yeah,
but I can't see him being an OC. Yeah, that's not gonna fly.
At the college level, I think Belichick feels like, and we may be watching it play out, Belichick feels like he's got a big enough a hammer to say, if you want me at the college level, you have to agree to take my son. He couldn't command that in the NFL because Bill Belichick could obviously get an NFL head coaching job that opens up in a couple weeks, right? I mean, obviously, it may not be the best job, but he could get a job in the NFL if he wants one.
Yeah.
And
I just thought about this comparison. Remember how crazy the Lakers were trying to get Dan Hurley, we just see like how bad he's been on the sideline and how intense of a coach he is. Like we're like, there's no way. What were we thinking that would fly in the NBA?
Nope.
But to go the opposite way from NFL to college, part of me wants to believe it might be a little bit more feasible because you do have a little bit more say over your players and you can be a little bit more emotional. You can be, I'm talking myself into it right now. I would say there is a chance of success because I mean the biggest thing, and we know this, Terry, you got to get players.
Sure you do.
You got to be able to get the players to run your offense, and if that. Will Belichick be able to recruit if he goes to college?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Want to recruit?
I would think so.
Hey, Pat, before we step aside, we're going to wrap up hour number 1 and then hopefully visit with Dr. Bates. Pat, along those same lines, your college coach, Billy Donovan, has now been in the NBA for a long time. Is Billy Donovan a more hard ass in the NBA? And I don't think it was ever a hard ass, but you get where I'm going. Is Billy Donovan more of a hard ass as an NBA coach?
I don't.
8 years, or was he more of a hard
No,
ass?
I don't think so. I don't think so because, only if and even if Coach Donovan is getting disrespected, like he got disrespected by Deion Waiters and Russell Westbrook at some point, and Kevin Durant, and I don't think Coach takes any of that stuff personally.
Okay.
I think he under like the NBA is head coaches finding ways to help their best players be more efficient, like try to help find the blind spots and then get guys as support to their stars to do their jobs. And I think he does, as best he can. If I don't know, like it's there are times where I've seen, not only with him, but a coach draws something up in the sideline and a player just absolutely just doesn't do what they draw it up and just goes rogue. And I'm like, that would be a moment where you would see a coach go off.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they don't.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I do think the only coach, I remember last year, Minnesota's coach, Minnesota Timberwolves, apparently their coach takes on a little bit more of a college style of being a little bit more in your face. And his players responded to it, and they like being coached like that. And that's so rare.
Wow. All right, Pat, hang tight. Let's take a break. We hope to hook up with Dr. Aaron Bates, our Wednesday sports medicine discussion with the good doctor from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, Carson Beck, number one. And number two, my God, the linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. It looks like Overshawn is his last name. It looks like he blew every CL you could possibly blow out. Oh, MCL, PCL, AFL, every L. We'll talk about that with Dr. Bates on the other side. Hang tight. It's a Wednesday edition. The cold is rolling in. Bundle up, folks. And I'm in a great place.
Twin Peak girls, y'all are fine. Stay in uniform.
Stay in uniform. You are fine. We'll turn the heat up inside Twin Peaks. Back after this quick timeout.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
All right, here we go. The cold front is rolling in. Bundle up tonight. It's going to be cold, I think, tonight and tomorrow, but we'll battle through it. A Hump Day edition, Wednesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. That guy right there is Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle. We got Chris Kringle overlooking the whole shebang. Hey, Patrick, can you see Chris Kringle? He's keeping an eye on the whole.
I see Chris Kringle.
He's keeping a whole eye on everything.
He's always watching.
He is
He's
always
watching.
You got that right. And it's time now to talk some sports medicine. We do it every Wednesday with Dr. Aaron Bates from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Doc, we got Chris Kringle over my shoulder. So hey, be good, Doc. Be good. He's.
What do you want for Christmas, Doc? What's on your Christmas list?
Yeah. Oh, Doc, we're missing your audio. Doc. Let's see if we can get.
Probably some Lululemon.
Go ahead, Doc. We got you now. Okay, hold on 1 second. On Doc's phone, Doc, it's on a mute with your phone. He'll get it squared away. And be safe, drive safe, Doc, and be careful. But unmute on your phone. I'm told. Chris Kringle, get it done.
You might have to go to the settings. I swear, this app, man, it hates me sometimes. I swear.
No, you sound good.
So I feel Doc's pain.
We got to get Doc's.
Man, sometimes it'll just drop me for no reason. You know, just treat me all bad.
Pat, how you doing with your Christmas shopping, Pat? Are you do you have a lot?
Oh, I've done none.
Yeah, do you have
zero.
a lot to buy?
I've done zero.
Do you have a lot to buy?
Well, man, Terry.
I don't.
My dog, he's not doing great. You met him. You met Decker.
Yeah, what's going on, man? I want this dog to get
better. I don't think there's no getting better. We got an X-ray because he was like, no, Decker. He's the big dog. Oh, yeah, he was freaking out like a few nights in a row, man, and like just completely out of character. And took him to the vet, and he's got metastatic cancer in his lungs.
Oh man, I don't.
So he's terminal, and man, I'm not convinced that he's suffering.
Yeah.
But my mom is, and she, she hates seeing him struggle.
And you don't want that. You don't want to suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the idea of people coming over for us to put my dog down sounds so crazy to me.
Yeah, that's tough. That is a tough situation. We're going to get Dr. Bates squared away, and we'll get him on. Obviously, topic number one, you saw the play, Patrick. We all saw the play at the end of the first half. Georgia wanted to throw basically a Hail Mary. Carson Beck around midfield or so And Doc, I think we've got you. But Carson Beck, he obviously was going to throw a long pass toward the end zone. He's midway through throwing the ball, and the Texas defender, swipes down. Doc, I think we've got you. You saw the play. When it happened, I didn't know if it was wrist, elbow, or shoulder.
Can you hear me?
You knew
Yeah.
something was bad there, Doc. When
It
you
looks
saw
like
with
it looks like the same exact injury in the same exact way that Brock Purdy tore his UCL.
Yeah.
It looks like the
Doc,
same exact injury.
Doc, you saw it. What did you think when you saw the first pass from Beck?
Yeah, it is the same exact injury that Brock Purdy had. And this typically is how you tear your UCL in football players. Way different than with baseball players when, pitchers are just throwing or somebody's winging the ball from the outfield or something like that because they have a different throwing motion. Football, because of different throwing motion, unless you get hit, you typically don't injure your UCLs just throwing a football. And so because of the force that he was coming down on when he was trying to begin to throw the ball in that late cocking, early acceleration phase, and with his arm getting hit, and that was a counter force to that.
Yeah,
that's what tore the ligament there.
Yeah,
and Doc, if I may, you just used the word counter force. I think that's what I'm going to try and describe, but I've had enough people tell me, like, automobile accidents, when one object is going north and the other object is going south and they hit, that energy has to go somewhere, right? I mean, that energy doesn't just disappear. And Beck was trying to throw the ball, for lack of a better term, he was trying to throw the ball as far as he could north, and the defender was swiping his arm down as hard as he could south. And when they collided, I looked and you go, that energy has to go somewhere, and it went to the elbow, right?
Yep, it went on to the inside part of the elbow, right where that ulnar collateral ligament lies.
Ooh.
And so then the energy of that injury, of those two forces colliding, and the trajectory of the way the ball was supposed to come off, and the torque on the elbow, basically was too much for the ligament to hold.
Yeah. And Patrick, I know you got some stuff for Doc. Doc, I want to throw this out though. If Carson Beck on that hit, if he was throwing a 5-yard out where he wasn't planting and trying to throw it as far as he can with a up, I don't think it would have been as bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
The angle, I think, was terrible. Yeah. Talk about that, Doc.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. I mean, it could have happened the same way, but just because there's a lot of torque across the elbow with the throwing motion, but the likelihood or the possibility of a lesser injury or not even an injury with throwing a shorter pass or in a different direction, it is high.
Yeah, but and Patrick, you saw the play. Doc, you saw the play. I saw the play live as well. That was a situation. He was having to jump on his fastball because he wanted to throw the ball 55 yards high in the air into the end zone, right? So I mean, he jumped on it as hard as he could. Doc, what is and they're keeping it a little bit under wraps, but it's a UCL issue in the elbow. What's the treatment? And he's only got 2 weeks, Doc. Talk about it.
Well, I mean, there are different levels to the tears of the UCLs. Comes from a sprain versus a partial tear versus a full tear. Now, without knowing truly what the MRI showed, if we suspect or expect that he had a full, complete tear, this would be very difficult to come back from as a quarterback and play in 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks,
4 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's a partial tear, then maybe, or sprain, then maybe.
Go ahead,
I
Patrick.
can't see. It's hard for me to see, Doc, with a partial tear because it's, with the partial tear, I'm sure your recommendation would be to rest it and not go and keep doing those motions that are going to keep stressing it. That partial tear is going to turn into a full tear if you keep stressing and something that's already vulnerable. My question here would be this, Doc. Football to baseball, is there a difference in procedure or recovery from getting back to throwing a baseball versus getting back to throw a football?
There's likely a difference in recovery, but the surgical procedure is the same, and which surgical procedure we do is the same. And so, what Brock Purdy had was something called a repair of the ligament with an internal brace. I think I talked about that before, where we use kind of heavy suture to kind of brace it internally to allow that ligament to heal in without stress on it. And that's only if it's torn off of one end or the other. If it's torn in the middle, that doesn't work. And so but who knows? I mean, without seeing MRI, it's hard to say.
Right.
The recovery, though, I think, for baseball players, you're talking about 6 to 9 months. Maybe 6 months or so, maybe 4 to 6 months for football players, just because it's a different throwing motion, so we can get you back. If you have to do the full reconstruction for football players, you're talking about 9 months versus 12 months for a baseball player. But yeah, I mean, it's the procedure is the same though.
Yeah, and Doc is obviously, if Carson Beck had this injury to his elbow and he's a pitcher, the first thing you think about is repetition. Pitchers are going to throw 100 pitches. Right. A quarterback may throw 40 passes, but the football is much heavier than the baseball, right?
Yeah.
Where does that come into play? The football is a big object that you have to throw that weight more than a baseball.
Yeah, but still, because of the throwing motion is a little bit different with the football, it kind of is a little more protective of the UCL. Yes, you're going to stress it a little bit, but it's going to be a little more protective in that sense.
But what I heard you say, Doc, a moment ago, I heard you say multiple months. Well, the college football playoff starts on December 20th, and it ends on January 20th. That is 1 month, and we are just over 1 month. So that time frame does not sound good. 1 month in terms of trying to compete for a national title from the quarterback position.
Correct. So, I mean, if it's deemed that he needs surgery, that surgery is necessary, the likelihood of him coming back for, the remaining portion of the playoffs is really, really low.
Yeah, because Georgia, they do get a bit of a break, Patrick and Dr. Bates. They get a break. They get a bye, but Georgia would still have to win 3 games instead of 4. They got to win 3 in a row, and it sounds like if it's what we think it is, you would not be doing your team any favors trying to play.
Correct.
Out there. Yeah, in that short time. Pat, you may have a couple things. I do have one more thing I want to throw Doc. Boy, the Dallas Cowboys, they have a linebacker.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Pat.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Pat.
Well, my question is more so trying to understand is arthritis, and how does it come? Like, how does it come? Is there any real treatment for it to make it go away, or is just something that happens to all of us over time when it comes to arthritis?
Are you talking about arthritis of any joint?
In any joint, yeah, in general, not like rheumatoid or osteomyelitis.
How about my left thumb joint that I got arthritis? It popped up out of nowhere. I need to get rid of that, Doc, and I don't know how to do it.
So I'm assuming. So when we talk about arthritis, in most people, we're typically talking about osteoarthritis, and not something like rheumatoid arthritis or some of these other secondary or inflammatory arthritides that can be caused like psoriatic arthritis. There's a bunch of different
Well,
arthritis
what's the
type of
osteo
conditions.
part of that? What does the osteo part
Osteo
mean?
just means osteo means bone, but
Okay.
but osteoarthritis is the one we think is, or most people think is, oh, as you get older, you're just going to have arthritis.
Is
right?
that
So, 'cause-
overuse? Is that just overuse?
No,
over the
I would
years?
say mostly people get it because of genetics.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Right. So
Okay. Well,
yes,
thanks,
you can have
thanks,
you can
Mom.
have it. You can certainly have an injury that you can speed up the process of the progression of osteoarthritis.
Like a meniscus injury where you
Yes.
gotta
Yeah.
take some off. Yeah.
Yep. When you take some off, well, then the cartilage is seeing a lot more pressure, a lot more shear force, and it starts to wear away quicker. But if you're already genetically predisposed to that, it's going to progress that a little quicker.
Doc,
I found that's our thing, Terry. And Doc, we got to figure out how to change people's genetics so they don't get arthritis, and we got it. We're set. That's it. We just got to figure it out.
I'm down with that. Doc, I've got an
You can
NBA
retire on
question.
an island somewhere.
Yes, we will.
What?
I've got an NBA question.
No Diddy parties.
No, Patrick, settle down. Settle down, Patrick. Doc, I've got an NBA question. Joel Embiid, one of the best players in the NBA, he's been battling injuries, and he made a statement last night. He's playing, but he's not real happy. And I'm going to use his statement, and I want you to comment. He said it's depressing that, basically, I'm going to paraphrase. He said it's depressing the way he's fought injuries the last year or two. He wants to be healthy and be the best he can be. We understand that. And he goes, he says, I don't really have an injury, but I still have swelling. Doc, my question to you is, if you have swelling, doesn't that mean there is an injury somewhere? Swelling just doesn't happen, does it?
Yeah, swelling happens because of inflammation, and obviously inflammation most of the time, like in his case, is because of a prior injury. Now I think if I can jump into his head, I think what he's referring to is he doesn't have pain, but he has swelling.
Yes.
And
they can't find a true injury for the swelling. And he sounds frustrated. Go ahead, pick it up there.
Well, I mean, I would assume he's got some arthritis developing.
Yeah. He's got to.
Yeah, exactly. From all the issues that he's had over the years with his.
Oh my gosh. He's had like 25 injuries in his career.
Yeah.
Right. And so he's likely has a little bit of arthritis. We could probably call it post-traumatic arthritis instead of osteoarthritis, but it could be some osteoarthritis. Either way, he's had these injuries, had surgeries, and so now he's got swelling. Doesn't have as much pain, but he has swelling because he continues to irritate his knee because he's a big guy and he's trying to run up and down the court.
He sounds so frustrated that why can we not find a legitimate injury to represent this swelling? But obviously, that's what he sounds like. He's mad.
That's every patient that I see in the office who has arthritis that didn't have pain a month ago, but now has pain but they've had the arthritis for probably 5 years.
But
they just didn't have any symptoms until now.
But those guys you're seeing in your office aren't 7 foot. The best
280.
280. Yeah. The best 20 players at their job in the world. He just sounds so frustrated. Doc, I got one more for you. And
I would hate for him to be like what's our guy that got drafted before Jordan, but he broke his foot.
Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie. Yeah, I can see it. I can see the similarities there, man.
Yeah,
and the kid, the guy from Ohio State.
The big kid that Barnaby. The big center,
went to Portland, right?
Odin.
Yeah,
Greg Oden. There you go.
Yeah, Greg Oden.
He couldn't get his feet, and hell, the back half of Bill Walton's career, he could not get his feet healthy. He was a great player, but his feet and his ankles just wouldn't cooperate. Doc, real quick, we'll let you go. I know you're heading home. What a shame. The Cowboys have a linebacker, Dallas Cowboys, Overshawn is his last name, and he's a good player. He just had an injury, and everybody from Dallas on down, they've come out and said he blew all 3 CLs. All 3.
Okay. All right.
MCL, PCL, and help me out with the
ACL.
third. ACL.
ACL, PCL, MCL probably.
Yeah, it's pretty understood. He blew them all. They're gone. Couple thoughts, and just speak to that. When he goes in for surgery, and I hope he can play again. I don't know. Can he play again? Number one. Number two, will they do all 3 of those at one time? I mean, all 3 were blown out. And was that a Nick Chubb? Did Nick Chubb have that kind of thing? Talk about all 3 getting blown out.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You know, just think about Nick Chubb, and he's had it done twice, and that's amazing. So, you know, the answer to your question, can he come back and play? Yeah, he can come back and play. I mean, is there a guarantee that he can come back and play?
Yeah.
Oh no, because you never know how things are going to go when you have a multi-ligamentous knee disruption. That's what he had, and it's almost like a knee dislocation, basically. Yeah. To tear all 3 of those ligaments. And so, but I mean, you know, I've seen things that we think are impossible, and being a high level athlete, he probably has the best chance of coming back to play again.
Well, would he, when he goes in, and he has to go in, obviously under the knife, quote unquote, do they try and fix them all 3 at one time? And would that be a 8-hour surgery? I mean, how long would that be if you're trying to fix all 3
that's
at one
great.
time?
Yeah, what type of graft do you use with that, Doc? And
it's a few hours.
That's interesting.
And so there's different there's different schools of thought. The way I do it is, well, mostly we go in and reconstruct everything at the time. Now, sometimes acutely, because you don't want to do the ACL and PCL right away. You want to let the swelling get down and get range of motion and things like that. But if you have an MCL, that's kind of an avulsion type of injury, you can try to repair that one immediately, and then come back 3 or 4 weeks later to do the other 2.
Yeah.
But usually I just kind of wait till it all comes down and do all 3 and just reconstruct
all 3
together.
There you go.
What graft would you use
that's
for
a 2.5 to 3 hour?
Do you take a different approach graft wise if it's someone trying to get back that's very active versus someone that's just trying to get back to walking normally again, like they're not very active?
Good question.
Yeah, and that's a topic for debate. We debate that all the time. But typically for multi-ligamentous knee disruptions or knee dislocations where we're fixing more than one ligament or reconstructing more than one ligament, we typically use donated grafts instead of continuing to rob Peter to pay Paul. But if you're the purist, would likely, you know, if you're really going to really think about the guy coming back, I know that this has been done before. So you use autograft for the ACL, donated graft for the PCL and the MCL, and so you can still do that. The thing is that, creates the case is already going to be long.
Wow!
And so using
it makes it even longer.
It makes it even longer. That's right.
And you know, guys, and Doc, I'll let you go after this, but we've touched on this before. But my God, I cannot. Obviously, you, the physician, have to be honest with your patient. You say, okay, here are the pictures. You've blown out every CL you've got. You only have 3, and you've won. So the patient knows that, and the patient in this case is a high-level athlete. I could not imagine. I've gone to Dr. Aaron Bates, and you have reconstructed all 3 of my CLs. I couldn't imagine the mental anguish the first time I run on the field. I would be so freaking scared to cut, to run, to push off. My God, the mental aspect of that has got to be enormous.
Yeah, it's a big part of it. It's a big part of it. That's why these guys will get paid the big bucks, and they have the the best
Right.
rehab and and sports
Yeah.
psychology money can buy, and so and they slowly get put back in once you get cleared, and so there's a way that you do it that people can get back to feeling like they felt before.
I would be so scared. And Pat, in your sport, I mean, if you went through that first time you were said, okay, you're 100%, go out to practice today and jump and run. I would be so scared, Pat, if I was you, to jump as hard as I can or cut. Man, I'd be scared.
I mean, just imagine what Paul George who had an open tibia fracture when it came down after that layup, and he hit his foot on the base of the basket, and he broke his tibia. It was an open fracture. He had to get a rod put in there and all that stuff. Can you imagine him when he first came down and had a contested layup again? That's a psychological issue.
Man,
that's tough.
That's all.
Great
That's
point.
all. I used to never think about that, but you got to think about all that, the mental aspect of that.
Yeah,
My
big part.
I mean,
the mental aspect. These guys, these football players are so tough, man. Like you'll see them ankle to ground, sprain their ankle, be out for a few plays, test it out, and go. And I'm like, what? Your bone just touched the ground at a 90-degree angle. How are you even walking? And man, I don't know what it is about football. And Doc, you were a football player, so you got an extra level of toughness and credibility within that.
Yeah, I mean, some of the adrenaline and the situation of the game and all that. So.
Doc said, I remember, Terry, you remember a few weeks ago, Doc was like, well, sometimes a guy will think he can go. We let him go out there for a play, and then he'll come right back and be like, nah, I couldn't do it.
I can remember the low level that I was an athlete. I can remember I suffered several nasty ankle sprains. Most of mine were running to first base, and you just hit the base wrong. You're busting your ass to get to first base, right? A ground ball or whatever. And I would hit that bag wrong every once in a while. And you would have that nasty. I didn't have film on it, but I know it was almost like Patrick described. But the first 2 minutes, I would be, oh my God, did I just break my ankle? But after I walked it off, it wasn't as bad. It was almost that. Does that make sense? It wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was, and I went back and played. You went back and played.
So Terry, that must have been the time that was like 16 millimeter, like reel to reel
You
film.
shut it. Hey, number one.
No sound.
Number one, shut your filthy mouth. Number two, it was the the Zapruder film when JFK got shot back in. Yeah, it was part of that film. It was like the Zapruder film.
Yeah,
hey, Doc.
It wasn't one of those, Terry.
Yeah, it was
one of those little wind-up joints.
Hey, let me tell both of you as we wrap up this segment. I didn't need that. I didn't need either one of those, you guys, from doing that. Okay, it's Christmas season, folks. I hope you feel that.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Doc.
That was good.
Go enjoy your family, and I'll let it ride. I'll let it ride this time. Thank you. That is Dr. Aaron Bates, our buddy from South.
Thank you, Dr. Bates.
Hey, and Patrick, you jumped in on that too. You double teamed me there.
I did. Hey, you've gotten me a few times, and I've caught some strays. I'm just minding my business, and like,
Patrick.
and Patrick, blah blah blah. I'm like, dang, bro.
Hey, Patrick, you were like I was on Laurel and Hardy, or Charlie Chaplin film when they cranked it with their arm.
Charlie Chaplin. Now you're aging yourself. Now you're the Charlie Chaplin.
All right, buddy. All right, Patrick, hang tight. Let's
break time.
Come back.
Time for a break.
Yeah, let's take a break. Come back and land this crazy plane on a Wednesday, a holiday Wednesday. We're having a big time. The Happy Hour crew rolling in here at Twin Peaks. The location is at the intersection of Atlantic and Kernan. The first Twin Peaks in our area, and they have done a great job. Come by, say hi. Bring your family. They'll be happy you did. Patrick Young, Terry Norvelle, and you wrapping the show up on the other side.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Okay, here we go. Wrapping up, putting the landing gear down. Patric Young, Terry Norvelle, and you, the Young and Norvelle Show, here on a Wednesday. Hey, we are off the next 2 days. Here's why. We hate to miss the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday, but our station, we have a wonderful holiday basketball tournament that we're going to broadcast, and they're going to use our studio to get it done. Obviously, CBS 47, Fox 30. And Patrick, you know, you played in a lot of holiday basketball high school tournaments. I'm sure there's so many high school fun tournaments right now. I know the Kingdom of the Sun in Ocala, and there's tournaments everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You probably played in a bunch of them when you were in high school.
Yeah. Christmas.
Yeah.
When we went down to City of Palms, which was down in South Florida somewhere.
There you go.
Played well there, and we did Kingdom of the Sun, and we won that. That was great. And we did something else that I can't remember right now at the moment. But man, yeah, those holiday tournaments are great. You could play multiple games in a day, and man, we dominated. Yeah, it was great.
And you can move up the recruiting list, right? If you're a high school kid playing in these tournaments, they're getting scouted a lot.
That's where you want to be. Yeah, that's honestly where you want to be if you're. I played this course before. That's where you want to be if you're you're trying to get your scouting, trying to get seen.
Yeah.
You know, and at least you don't have to break. You know, going to those AAU tournaments, it's so hard to get into the ones that coaches actually come to because those are the top. But I mean, nowadays, Terry, with the transfer portal, you know, there's going to be a lot of high school kids that are outside of the top 100 that are not going to get recruited.
Yeah,
they're not going to.
Sure. Hey, you mentioned Kingdom.
The transfer portal now is changed how high school sports operate.
You mentioned Kingdom of the Sun. Is that the one in Ocala? I know there's a big one in Ocala somewhere.
Yeah, that's got it. Yeah, that's the one in Ocala. Yep.
Hey,
what a weird place for that such a big tournament to be.
In Ocala, it's been there forever.
What a weird,
Zach, our producer Zach was telling us it appears now, Zach, if you want to jump on, that the Bill Belichick marriage with North Carolina football is consummated. Basically, is that right, Zach? Is it a done deal? Sounds like it.
Multiple sources on Twitter confirm, including Ian Rappaport. The details, I'm trying to find the details on the contract. I don't think it's been released yet. But he is going to be the next head coach at the University of North Carolina for the football team. Bill Belichick.
How about that? Again, we know North Carolina's ACC schedule, and Bill Belichick will be on the sideline against, you know, the Clemsons and the North Carolinas, and we know that. But do you realize Bill Belichick? Yes, that Bill Belichick will be on the sideline coaching against the Charlotte 49ers, the UCF Knights, and the Richmond Spiders. I just can't wrap my hands around Bill Belichick, 53 yards away from the head coach of the Richmond Spiders, trying to win a football game. Help me, guys.
trying to say he's too good for it.
He's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, it's not really that much less prestigious than playing against the Jets twice a year. But yeah, I mean, I definitely get the point you're making for sure.
Shot fired. Shot fired from Zach Roth.
That was a good one.
That
was a good one.
Okay, well, I will say that's kind of cool. That really is. Hey, by the way, guys, here's a story that came out today. It happened, I guess, 2 nights ago, and it's happened all over our country. Did you guys hear? These sports pirates are at it again. They broke into Joe Burrow's house Monday night while he's playing Monday Night Football. These sports pirates have been going around breaking into. Mahomes has had his home broken into during the game. Kelsey, Burrow, NBA guys. Dude, these guys are technically, they're flying drones around. They're scrambling signals to where even if you have a reconnaissance, you've got sports pirates going around breaking into these multi-million-dollar athlete homes, and we can't stop.
That's unbelievable, man.
Have you heard about that, guys? Zach, have you heard about it?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. Well, I mean, he was humble bragging about the fact that he had purchased a Batmobile on the Hard Knocks last week, and so I guess people. Not that people were unaware of the fact that he had, one of the highest contracts in the league, but I mean, that's just one of those things that kind of happens. I mean, these things have been going on for a while.
Hey, Patrick. So Joe Burrow was bragging about buying the Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
He just got broke into. I gotta believe suspect number 1 is the Joker, right? You gotta go find the Joker, right?
Young Joker.
Oh yeah,
Young Joker or just the Joker?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
Or at least the Penguin or somebody, right? But no, they've been. Hey, this is they call it the NBA has gotten with the FBI, and they are saying there is a sophisticated South American theft ring that they are very, very technologically savvy. They have drones. They have scrambling equipment. When I say scrambling, obviously Pat Mahomes probably has surveillance at his house, right? But they're scrambling the feeds, right? I mean, these guys know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing.
They're going in there, and they're just not even able to look at the cameras to see who was there, how many people,
because they're scrambling it. Yeah, and they say they're using drones, and they're using they're acting like they're bogus, like if you live in a big nice neighborhood, obviously it's a gated community, but every gated community, every day there are workers that have to come in. Somebody's getting their plumbing fixed, or right, they're getting
Right.
an extension in their house or a pool. So you've always got workers coming in. Number one, and these people are posing as workers or joggers in the neighborhood and stuff, and they're stealing them blind. They're stealing them blind. You know.
It's pretty genius. I gotta give the respect there, man. It's pretty smart how they're doing it, but you hate to see it.
Absolutely.
These guys don't deserve that. They've earned everything they've gotten.
I totally. It's just crazy that Pirates have all of a sudden started earmarking these high, and they know when they're gone. If they're playing Monday Night Football, they know Joe Burrow is not going to be at his house. If Patrick Mahomes is playing, yes,
that's pretty obvious. But now, like, if I'm one of these guys, I'm just gonna have like one of my friends or somebody like, hey man, just stay in the house while the games are going on. You don't need to pay a security person for that. Just have a friend, just stay there on Sunday. Like, that's it. They're doing it during the game.
I know. It's crazy. And you guys remember this was probably 10 years ago, and this was serious. Across the world, there were ocean pirates out there. And man, if you were on a big luxury liner, there was a chance these pirates would board your vessel and just take over. Do you remember that? There was a period where real life modern day pirates were running the oceans and the Mediterranean. It was crazy. It was nuts.
What's the name of the movie?
Yes, Phillips. Captain Phillips.
Man, what?
Captain Phillips with Tom Hanks. That they got boarded. It's a true story. They got taken over. That was one of those massive cargo ships. So it wasn't a pleasure ship. It was a cargo ship. But no, those pirates, they saw that boat, that ship, and they went and commandeered it, Patrick. They took it over.
Yeah, they sure did.
That was a good movie. Did you watch it?
I'm the captain now.
Yeah. Did you watch? That was a good movie.
Oh, dude, I loved it. Absolutely.
That was a good movie. All right, guys, one of the last things I want to get to, there's a 30 for 30 out right now, and it's called, I think, the New York Stock Exchange, and it deals with back in the a couple decades ago, the New York Jets had a really good defensive line. They had Joe Klecko, they had Mark Gastineau, and these guys were great defensive players. They sacked the quarterback, and the documentary is called The New York Stock Exchange. Have you guys seen the?
I think it's New York. I think it's New York Sack Exchange.
Yeah.
Sack. Sack. I'm sorry, I pronounced that wrong. Have you guys seen the trailer and the part where Mark Gastineau confronts Brett Favre? Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think of that? Was it real? Was it fake? Favre looked like he was stunned.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Favre had any idea that, and I get, like, when you go back and see the play,
I remember the play live.
You can't tell me that wasn't agreed upon. Like, that was.
It was 1,000% agreed.
Oh yeah.
I think if Gaston's record gets broken fairly and there's no question, I think he's fine. But yeah, I mean, I love Brett Favre's response in it because, he obviously wasn't thinking about this guy. Yeah. And this was the time, and he said this was the time when, they weren't making generational wealth money like they are now. And, he did not mean, of course, he didn't mean any harm by what happened, and I'm sure he regrets it. But there's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah.
How are you going to get your sack back?
You know what, Patrick and Zach, if you've got some comments, I'd love to hear as well. I was impressed with that part of the quote by Brett Favre. He goes, you know what? I look back and Gastineau didn't play when all you do is play a few years and your financial life was changed. I really appreciated what Favre said. Do you think, Patrick, it was legit? Did Brett Favre not know he was walking into a confrontation? It appeared he did not. It appeared legit.
I think when Brett Favre reached his hand out,
Yeah.
To shake the guy's hand. He's like, oh man, just thinking another fan or something like that. He had no idea that that was what was gonna happen.
Yeah. What do you think, Zach, when you saw the I don't want to say confrontation, but the confrontation, that 30-second discussion between Gastineau and Favre?
Yeah, I mean, I can't be 100% sure, but it felt to me like Brett Favre knew that was Mark Gastineau, and it felt to me like someone had probably told him before, like, Mark Gastineau hates you. Like, he's and it's like when he came up and he said hey to him and shook his hand, Brett Favre was kind of like it wasn't a hey, it was a hey. It was like a kind of like I don't think he was completely blindsided by the confrontation.
Well, I because of my age, I truly 100% remember the actual happening when it actually happened, and there was a big lead up to it. People were saying, okay, what was it? Strahan? It was Strahan, right?
Yeah,
Strahan.
Strahan is closing in on the sack record, and yeah, there was it wasn't that long ago. There was still a bunch of coverage, and when it happened in the game, everybody knew. Obviously, Strahan and the Giants have played Favre in the Green Bay a million years. They played a ton of games against each other. They know each other, and it was set up. You guys saw it. It was
If you see the tight end, oh my gosh, what a joke.
What happened? What did he do?
Trying to block Strahan, he just whiffed.
Wow.
He kind of just Ole, here you go. Ole, like a flight attendant, like not a flight attendant, like the air traffic controllers. This way. Yeah. This way to the sack.
and I don't know if you guys know, there's a phrase in baseball called and it's a funny word, an ephus pitch. Have you ever heard of an ephus? An ephus pitch
Yes.
It's just a big lollipop, a lob almost a softball pitch in baseball. It's not used very often, but an ephus pitch is just a lob into the batter. What happened with Favre and Strahan would have been the correlation of, let's say Barry Bonds was about to break Babe Ruth's record, or Hank Aaron's about to break, right? And if Barry Bonds went to the starting pitcher and said, hey, by the way, when I come up, can you throw me an ephus pitch and I'm going to hit it out of the park? That right. It was that set up. It was literally set up. Favre and Strahan can't say that it wasn't set up, but it was odd the way that, and I know it was built for TV. It's a documentary, but Gastineau was pissed off, wasn't he? He was mad.
Oh yeah, that was real.
I think what took Brett Favre back, because Gastineau was like, "You hurt me."
Yes.
Like what you did hurt me real bad, and obviously, I mean, how many years ago was that? Like,
it's a good 20 years.
Good. Yeah, man. I think, I don't know what the right thing for Brett Favre to do would be, but like,
what would be would the right thing be? Get with Strahan and then go to the NFL offices and say, hey, let's adjust it. I don't know.
Adjust it.
Honestly,
and then,
because it wasn't a legit sack.
Well, yeah. So adjust it, take away the sack, and then T.J. Watt would be the all-time sack leader because he tied that record a few years ago. So T.J. Watt should be,
Who plays for the who?
Pittsburgh Steelers' very own T.J. Watt should be the all-time sack leader. He tied the record. No, he didn't get a Mickey Mouse sack at the end. Lamar Jackson didn't lay down. He had to chase Lamar Jackson for this sack. All right.
And Zach, your favorite team in NFL is who?
I do identify as a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I mean that doesn't make my opinion less valid.
And Pat, when you come back, Zach, if you want, we could probably go back in college football and find a couple Heisman. George Rogers deserved a Heisman probably, and
he won the Heisman. He got it.
He beat Herschel. We could probably get a couple more Heisman trophies for South Carolina and probably some national titles.
Alshon Jeffrey, the year they beat Alabama, he probably could have been a Heisman winner. Yeah, for sure.
And they probably should have won the national title that year, right?
Oh yeah, that Scam Newton beat them in the SEC title. Yeah. He probably did something illegitimate. He was getting NIL.
And Coach Spurrier probably should have. He won 11 games. He probably should have won 3 titles there, right? In those 11.
Yeah, definitely the Cam Newton year because he shouldn't have been eligible because he was getting paid 100%.
Nice. Hey, I'm down with that. I definitely am. All right, boys, good show. Hope you enjoyed it. I know we enjoyed bringing it to you folks here. We'll get together on Monday. Don't forget, no show Thursday, no show Friday. we're taking those days off. We've got high school holiday basketball tournament action that will be on our stations out of our studio. So we're going to go ahead and take a couple of days off. I hope you agree that we deserve it. We look forward to a busy weekend of football, and we'll revisit on Monday. And man, we will have a lot to cover. You don't want to miss the Monday show. The Young and Norvelle show will have tons of NFL. Are the Jaguars on a winning streak? We'll talk about that. If they are, is that a good thing or a bad thing for the franchise going into the offseason? That's the big debate with Jacksonville. Should the Jaguars win games or lose games? What is better? We'll kick that around. There'll be a lot of we'll have the Heisman Trophy decided and awarded on Saturday night. We'll have a couple of bowl games right around the corner. So we got a lot of stuff to head into on Monday. Our next show day, again, we will be off on Thursday and Friday the next 2 days due to high school basketball on our air. But we'll come back raring to go, and we hope to see you and hear you and visit with you on Monday. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. We'll get together on Monday. Be safe all weekend. We'll talk next week.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
Since 1936, Procter Ace has been proudly helping Jacks with all your home and garden projects. Whether you need tools, paint, plumbing supplies, or expert advice, we've got what you need to get the job done right. Looking to brighten your yard? Visit our garden center for plants, tools, and everything to make your outdoor space flourish. You're not just shopping here, you're part of our community. So come in today and let us help you tackle your next project with a smile. After all,
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When I say it means something to me, gentlemen, it means something to me.
High school football is back and it's bigger than ever. Welcome to the Friday Night Zone Blitz.
It is bigger than a game.
Watch the biggest games each week live as the action unfolds with instant reaction and analysis from our Hall of Famer, Kevin Sullivan. It starts with live look-ins at the top matchups, including our Jaguars Prep Whataburger Game of the Week, and that is just the beginning of 4 straight hours of coverage. From 8 to 10:30, the Friday Night Zone Blitz is streaming on our Action News Jax app and online. At 10:30, the Friday Night Blitz you know and love. A half hour of highlights from around the area. 11 o'clock, we shine the spotlight on the bands that pump up the crowd. 11:15, it's time to blitz through the highlights online and on air. Then 11:35, back to the stream to break down the night's results with a reaction from local coaches. 4 straight hours of high school football on the Friday Night Zone Blitz. Only on Action Sports Jax 24/7.
Baker Sports is local sports. Uniforms from Pop Warner and Little League to travel ball, high school, and college. They make you look good. They help you play good. Baker Sports has been helping families make memories that will last a lifetime with their Baker's Buckets. We've got a lot of these filled with baseballs and softballs in the garage. I've been throwing batting practice to Ty and Kaylee for years and also sit on the Baker's Bucket, catching Kaylee while she practices her pitching. Baker Sports is homegrown, and a lot of employees that used to play on local ball fields now work for Baker Sports, now helping you look good, play good, and make memories of your own. Visit Bakersport.com to see what Baker Sports can do for you. Custom apparel, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, embroidery, screen printing, and more. Baker Sports is local sports from Jacksonville to anywhere in the Southeast. Bakersport.com.